On my birthday, expecting a heartfelt gift, I instead received a manila envelope. Inside, an eviction notice, signed by my own brother, hand-delivered by my mother. They stood there, smiling, as if it were a joke. Years ago, they'd bought the house when I was at rock bottom. I'd paid them back every cent with interest, but foolishly never demanded the deed. They waited until I rebuilt my life, then yanked the floor from under me on a day they thought I'd be too stunned to fight. They didn't know my silence wasn't surrender. It was strategy. That house wasn't just walls. It was my sanctuary, where I built my design firm, cared for my ailing father, even patched up my sister's failing marriage, and they tossed me out like trash. Their excuse: we need the equity for Lucas's wedding. A wedding for which I, ironically, helped design the venue on family land years ago. I left that night with only my laptop and my name, but that was enough. I wasn't just getting even. I was making them regret ever thinking I was replaceable. My first move: quiet paperwork. I contacted an old client, a real estate developer, for temporary workspace and access to listings. I stayed up, mapping their weaknesses. The wedding venue had a shared use license, a violation of which meant shutdown. I still had copies of the original permits. Strike one. Strike two. The caterer. I bought their company. Cash. Then instructed them to mark the wedding weekend as closed for renovations. Strike three was elegant. I found Lucas's ex. Turns out he'd been rekindling that flame during wedding planning. I just needed her to know the time and place. I waited until the wedding day. Suits, gowns, thousands in flowers, cameras rolling. I wore black, confidently. I walked to the stage during the rehearsal photos. My brother froze. My mother's smile shattered. I held up an envelope, just like they did on my birthday. "This is a cease and desist," I announced, tapping the mic for unauthorized use of the property. "Also, your caterer quit. Your liquor license is void. And your special guest is 10 minutes away with a video of Lucas calling her his biggest what if." Chaos erupted. The bride screamed. My mother charged. Lucas yelled about jealousy. I handed the mic to the planner and walked away. I didn't need to see the fallout. I'd already won. 3 weeks later, I bought the house back through a shell company. When my family, desperate, came begging to rent it, I told them the new landlord was very particular about integrity. They didn't get the joke, but I did. It was worth every sleepless night. They gave me betrayal. I returned it, gift-wrapped in consequences. No cake, just closure. Some celebrate birthdays with candles. I prefer court documents. Sharper, cleaner, and they don't blow out.